Simon summons Saitama. An amazing old mod from back in the day has been rehashed and recreated, allowing you to create any kind of custom summoner you want that can summon any kind of unit you want. And since it's part of the UML framework, you can summon any modded units. Everyone say hello to Simon. Simon, say hello to everyone. Simon is a new old unit. Simon is a summoner. And he's not just any summoner. Simon is whatever summoner you want him to be. This is an old unit brought back to the modern times of Totally Accurate Battle Simulator.
Wow.
And Simon's got a little bit of a problem over there. In the distance are 5 hoplites, and Simon needs to find a way to defeat them because he has no weapon. But Simon the summoner, luckily, is able to summon hobbits. Well, this version of Simon is able to summon hobbits, and he can summon 1 hobbit every 5 seconds. So there's the 1 hobbit, and now we should have another hobbit. There it is. A second hobbit has appeared every 5 seconds. A third hobbit has appeared. And every 5 seconds, Simon can summon another hobbit. Now, as you can see, these 4 hobbits, while not particularly individually powerful, will do a phenomenal job of dealing with nothing more than 5 simple hoplites. Because all of a sudden, wait a minute. Do I have immortal units on? Just gonna check. Oh, make units not die. That's on. That's awkward. Let's turn that off. Now this is making more sense. Now our hoplites are absolutely destroying all these individual hobbits. So you're wondering to yourself, Crow, just how good is Simon? Oh, Simon can be just as good as you want him to be. If you come on down here, you can see all of these awesome mods and units are here, Stalingrad, etc. All the way to the right, you see the Summoners tab, which creates this frame over here. First and foremost, you have up here, which is a list of different units. Luckily, if you have other mods installed, you can have other modded units, like the Ignis Slasher right here, or John Wick. You know what? Let's make a John Wick summoner. Clear the list. Now the list is empty. Click John Wick and boom, we are now summoning John Wicks. Now, if you wanted to summon John Wicks and Jetpackers, now you're summoning 2 things. But we're just gonna summon John Wick. Now, units per spawn, let's increase that to 3. Don't go too crazy. You can go all the way up to 50, but for now, we're gonna go down to 3. And he's gonna summon 3 John Wicks every 10 seconds. And by the way, yes, you can do it no cooldown every 0 seconds. Create summoner and boom, Simon summons John Wick. Only 740 points, by the way. Take Simon summons John Wick, drop him down, and then we'll give him some opponents. How about an army of poor, defenseless, not knowing what's about to hit them, farmers who are mad at Simon for doing all of his evil summoning things. All right, Simon, do your worst. Summon for me John Wicks. And as you can see, 1, 2, 3. 3 John Wicks have been summoned. Now, will the John Wicks deal with the farmers before Simon needs to summon more? Yeah, it seems like he did. So instead, now the John Wicks are going to deal with Ice Giants. I want to see just how many John Wicks we can summon here. Now, this is a 10-second cooldown. We could have made it a 1-second cooldown. We could have been summoning 50 John Wicks every second. There's more. 6 John Wicks are now here. Ice Giants are trying to punch Simon the Summoner. Simon the Summoner is still alive, able to summon more John Wicks any second. Now, boom! We have 9 John Wicks on the battlefield, and Simon the Summoner has been knocked out of the sky, and he's now floating downstream. Bye, Simon! Bye! Now the question is, will the John Wicks be able to defeat these Ice Giants? It seems like most of the Ice Giants are down, but many of the John Wicks are down. Doesn't matter. John Wick is not going to lose to some simple Ice Giants. I have created a new Simon the Summoner, a special, powerful Simon the Summoner who can summon only 1 unit, and he only summons 1 of those units, but he summons them every 3 seconds. And that Simon the Summoner is going to be facing an army of 100 raptors. And you're thinking to yourself, Crow, what unit is Simon the Summoner going to summon to defeat 100 raptors? I'm glad you asked. He summons none other than Mr. Death himself. Once every 3 seconds. Now we have 2 Mr. Deaths. And now we have 3 Mr. Deaths. And oh my god, Mr. Death versus 100 raptors. What? This is ridiculous, but not quite as ridiculous as you can get, because now there are 4 Mr. Deaths. And oh, Simon the Summoner, we're gonna have some fun with you in just a moment after the 5 Mr. Deaths completely clean up 100 raptors. Another aspect of Simon's abilities, because Simon is so cool, is that he can summon random units if you want. For example, this is the Simon Summons Random Archers unit. I set Simon up to summon one of like 20 different archers, but he only summons 6 at a time, which means he's summoning 6 random dudes from a list I created. As you can see, he summons a whole bunch of archers to start. Let's see what we got here. You've got a musketeer, a balloon archer, a chukonu, a skeleton archer, Cupid, and an ice archer. All sorts of archers. Every 3 seconds, he summons 3 more. There's a harpooner, there's a rock thrower, a regular archer, and he just summons more and more and more. So you can create random assortments of units that these summoners can continue to summon. And you think that's the end? Do you think that's all we can do? Oh, you have no idea. Look at all these poor Vikings trying to overwhelm the archers, but eventually more archers are summoned. Snake archers, harpooners, chokonu, mulvas of cocktail throwers, all sorts of archer units as Simon stares on in total victory. On the battlefield, we have 2 summoners. The Simon the Summoner on the left summons 20 Larrys, and the Simon the Summoner on the right summons 30 Helgas every 10 seconds. So now, every 10 seconds, more Larrys, more Helgas will join the battlefield, and this is still not the extent of the power. This can get even more disgusting. Oh, believe me, we're going to escalate. I'm going to create some of the most powerful summoners you've ever witnessed as these poor Helgas continue to try to get to Larry, to give Larry a big hug with her spiky forehead. But it's not going well because Larrys continue to bombard the front line of Helgas. Guys, these Larrys are doing a phenomenal job of destroying the poor Helgas. I have a funny feeling that this is going to break my computer before the game is over. Or maybe the Larrys do push and get to the Simon the Summoner over there. To be honest, I highly doubt it. I don't think the Larrys are going to advance at all. We're going to be here all day, guys. I'm scared. I'm trying a theory. So with this particular Simon the Summoner, I have set the summon time to 0, which means you can spam it. And the only one unit, just one unit that I put is this one right here. Oh no. Oh, that's a lot of bomb on a sticks. That's a lot of Lizzies, guys. Simon is summoning multiple Lizzies. He's set to summon only one at a time, but he has no cooldown, so he's spamming them as hard as he can. And there is an army of Lizzies coming in to explode on these poor pistol people. Oh no. What have I done? No, this is terrible. This is horrible. I love it so much. Oh my god, that was so cool. Now we're beginning to enter the world of the powerful. The one on the left summons Saitama, a Saitama summoning summoner. And then over there, Saitama's facing off against 10 Blood Crusaders. One of my favorite units from the Crazy Wraith faction. Love the Blood Crusaders, but we all know Saitama's probably gonna win, especially when we summon 10 more Blood Crusaders and another Saitama. Now there are 2 one-punch men on the field. I call them one-punch men as opposed to mans, plural. 2 Saitamas versus 20 Blood Crusaders. I love the Blood Crusader. They look cool and they look really evil inside of this purpley faction. But these Saitamas are not to be trifled with. There's one Saitama, there's a second, and now there's a third. There are 3 Saitamas on the field versus 30 Blood Crusaders. Now, again, the only problem with this whole concept is that the Saitamas will continue to spawn, and they're pretty much immortal. And these Blood Crusaders continue to spawn, and I don't... Oh, actually, when there's enough Saitamas on the field, they might be able to overpower the Blood Knights. When there's 4, 5, 6, 7 of them, the Blood Knights will not be able to produce fast enough. Guys, I'm pretty sure Saitama will eventually win this fight when there's just not enough Blood Knights to save them or to save Simon the Summoner, who is blue and yellow on this side. It is a weird looking Simon. Yo, what's up, buddy? How you doing? How many Saitamas are on the field now? Like 6? 7? You can see the Blood Knights are now beginning to be overpowered by the sheer number of Saitama. Let's take a look and count the Saitama, shall we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I see 6 at least on the battlefield. 6 one-punch men versus only about 10 Blood Knights. Now the one-punch men numbers are beginning to overpower and beginning to get to the Summoner. Once you get to the Summoner, it's game over. Oh, this Saitama is chilling beneath Simon. Simon summons more Blood Knights to try and distract Saitama. Saitama can't reach the summoner. This could be a little bit awkward. How will we defeat the Blood Knights? How will we defeat this? How will we win if we can't quite reach the summoner? Now the Saitamas, oh, they've done it. They killed the summoner. Simon is dead. And now the Saitama will continue to come in, spawn, work their way through the... Wait, Simon's dead, but he's still summoning. Did you see that? I saw beams coming out of his staff. The dead Simon still summoned? Oh, even if a dead Simon can still summon, if you kill all the units before the next summoning happens, red can win. Stepping it up another notch, summoning 50 units at a time, the maximum limit. Every 20 seconds, we will summon the cap of 50 units. On this side, you have 50 sumo wrestlers, and then on this side you have 50 raptors. Why is it taking so long to summon the sumos? The raptors are coming out hot and heavy, but the sumos are having a hard time. But this raptor wave is pushing its way, and everyone's falling off of the bridge and dying. So the slow and steady summoning of the sumos, which doesn't make sense to me, makes no sense. But here come even more raptors. Every 20 seconds, a wave of raptors goes against a weirdly slow but steady pace of sumos. I don't understand how that's working. The raptors, actually, can the raptors reach the summoner? I guess if they pile on top of each other, they might be able to, but they continue to get to this end here, and then the units fall off. Boom, more sumos. Here come more raptors. And I don't know if it's enough. The summoner, Simon the summoner is, oh, look at all the raptors. Simon's getting closer. The raptors are working their way. They're now underneath the blue Simon the summoner. Can they jump up and reach? Can they use the corpses of their fallen comrades to reach Simon? Look at all the raptors. Oh my God, these summoning units are phenomenal. But guys, I don't know if this is ever going to end. We could be here all day. And there's one more thing I want to show you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on the old school simulation map because we're going to need room. Summoners can summon more things than just units. Summoners can summon summoners. Simon can summon Simon, and these Simons will summon 5 of the other summons that they've made. All the Simons we made today, all the ones making Mr. Death, the ones making Larry's, the one making Helga's, Blood Knights, Saitamas, all these Simons every 10 seconds will summon Simons that summon other things. And if you wanted to get really cheeky, you could summon Simons that summon Simons. Clearly, this is a great idea and also a horrible idea, because all of a sudden your computer's gonna belt as units after units are summoned that summon even more units, and it can get beyond disgusting. We are maybe 20 seconds in, and I'm on full slow mode, and completely right now my computer is being chugged to a halt. So if you download this mod, ladies and gentlemen, and you decide to summon summoners, be careful what you wish for. It may come true, especially when the summoners are summoning Lizzies every single second, 5 Lizzies a second. Now, if you want to, you can summon Simons that can also summon Simons that summon Simons. I didn't do that. So the Simons that summon the summoners, I didn't make them summon the versions of themselves, because then you'd have an exponential increase. I didn't go that far, but you could. And if you think about doing it, be very careful, because you just might get exactly what you wish for.